Alright, here we are, very first test, and let's have a look. I'm still very new at this, I'm sorry. Let's go like this. Hi, my name is Torben, I live in Denmark, and I've been painting miniatures for the better part of 25 years now, and because of the pandemic and everything, I've had a lot of free time, and I'm interested in trying to, well, basically try to show people how I paint and my preferred method of doing so. And as the name might suggest, the miniaturium is sort of a laboratorium or a planetarium. It's sort of a showcase of everything that I like. I don't have a lot of means to do so, well, excuse the poor quality for now. I'll steadily work on, but as a wise man once said, best place to start is just to get started. So, with that said, let's go down to the painting area. Whoop. Now hopefully this shows up just as fine for you as it does for me. My plan is to stream for around an hour or so. This is mainly a test to see if my router and everything can sort of handle the whole streaming business. I've never ever gone live before, just been fiddling around in the background, and let's have a go. So today I was thinking, what better way to start a test in a pandemic than with a Fallout figure? And if my autofocus would, there we go. Now this is just a one of the PVC models from Fallout Wasteland Warfare, and as you can see, I've started some basic base coating on him. And I'm sorry for the autofocus. Start some basic base coating, as I said. So right now my plan is to start highlighting the flesh, and for that I am going to attempt using Army Painter's Barbarian flesh. And I think the coloring is a bit off here. Still working on the finer points, and hopefully the shaking won't disturb you too much. Did my music just die? Yes, it did. Great. Sorry about that. I have no idea why it did so. Let's just try to skip ahead, see if it... it's on a closed loop. Well, uh-oh. I think it is now working again. Yes, it is. And if, well, I can see that I have 0 viewers, thankfully. Starting difficulties and everything. Well, I have a very basic streaming setup. I have my mobile phone as the miniature camera. Currently on a tripod. Tomorrow, later today for me, I will get a better holder for my webcam. And just rearranged everything to make it more streamer friendly, which also means that I'm working out how to do the things I used to do. I think this might be better. Now, what you can see here, let's just zoom out. There's a little collection of worker brushes here. These worker brushes are basically my workhorses. They no longer have a fine point. or well, not a satisfactory fine point. And let's see if we can get a little bit of a focus here. It's not that it's bad, but as you can see, it's sort of lightly frayed at the end. These worker brushes I just keep handy, really. Well, let's say later on today, I hope that to get into painting his cool little base. Yeah. Right, barbarian flesh. Let's see if it works for our purposes. Also, brush licking, always a thing. So yeah. Let's see. So recently I've started trying out using army painters. Oh, you can't see anything. Hang on a second. Manual zoom. There we go. So recently I've been using army painters paints, and some mixing issues aside, I really like them. I like that they're they have a good range of colors, and oh dear, I missed a bit. Oh. A good range of colors that really suits my preferred style, especially with the wow, this hasn't mixed up at all. Oh dear. Oh, you can't see anything. Sorry. Still getting used to this. There we go. So yeah, my painting style is simplistic, you might say. I prefer to plug in colors and then highlight it up a bit again. Nothing fancy. I paint for this, I guess you could call it tabletop standard. Yeah. So as much contrast as possible for me. I want them to look good at 2 to 3 feet away, and also I want them to look fine when we're close up. Oh hey, there's a viewer. Cool. Welcome aboard. I hope you're not a spam bot, and I would love if you could just type in something just to see if I've set up everything. But like I said, I prefaced the show saying I'm new, totally new, first time streaming. This is my very, very first stream, and pardon the accent, I'm Danish and trying my very best. Can you see anything? I really hope so. So yeah, any feedback, any comments, just let me know. I'm still working out the kinks. But yeah, anyway, I like to have a good contrast on my miniatures, because I tend to view my miniatures as mainly playing pieces for the various games that I play, which is basically everything, hence miniatorium. It's a play, a pun, if you will, on both a laboratory and a planetarium, and a planetarium. And the idea is to showcase as many miniatures as I can here from all the games that I play. I do believe, yeah, this will do just fine. Now these miniatures are very finicky. I think that they basically took the Fallout. What's it called for a computer game? I'm guessing a mesh or just a model of the characters in the game, and basically reshaped them a bit, and then gave them a run through some digital sculpting program, and then released it out into the wilds as a plastic miniature. And furthermore, it's also in this, well, PVC kind of material that I don't really care much for. I don't know what it is about it, just doesn't really hold the detail. Or rather, in this case, I can see that the sculptor managed to get some really, really fine details, such as like here. If you can see that. That is a wrench of, I mean, you can barely even see it here. Sorry, warp the cam. Let's see if we can get a good close-up. See that wrench? Now here's a thumb just for reference. It's basically non-existent until you paint it up. Yeah, I'm not overly enthused by these models, so I figured I could use it for the streaming. You know, if I mess up things up, and to check if I could actually see what I was doing. Painting in front of there's a many firsts here. I mean, first off, I'm speaking English non-stop. I haven't done that in many years. And secondly, I'm painting in front of a camera. Never done that before. And thirdly, I'm painting live in front of an audience of one. Whoever you are, you're a true trooper. I'm really, really appreciate you stopping by and giving me a chance. Yeah, like I said, I'm just going to stream roughly an hour, and after that hour I need to go back and review what I'm doing. Hear the Discord popping. Maybe it's... I have a sneaky suspicion. Wow. Something's up. Hang on a second, everybody. Huh. Ah. Sorry about that. Yeah, shouldn't really do that. People in my friend's Discord, Bloodbeard's Garage, were posting pictures, and Discord kept popping and popping and popping. Sorry about that. Just wanted to see if anybody were talking to me there. They weren't. And my solo viewer isn't either. Oh well, it's fine. Like I said, I'm basically just testing. So yeah, I hope the music isn't too distracting. I figured, as anybody who paint miniatures knows, sometimes you get quiet because you're concentrating. And when you're concentrating, especially streaming, the void of silence eats into you. Makes you aware of what you're doing with your life and all that. Joking. Yeah. I really had hoped that Lars from the Discord, he hates army painters paints with a passion. I had really high hopes that he would be awake right now to see me working with his hated paints. And that autofocus, god damn, sorry, that autofocus doesn't do the stream any favors, does it? Fortunately, I have no idea how to turn it off. I'm using my phone as my camera, mainly because I couldn't really afford getting one of them fancy miniature painting recommended cameras. This is mainly in a bit of a lark, and I'm going to test the waters tomorrow, where I'm going to stream in Danish at more Dane-friendly hours. Because, well, yeah, I can tell you how all this started. Basically, a guy I was sort of vaguely familiar with, called Morten, started having a little stream show where he called Dukker og Dæmoner, or to the non-Danes out there, Dolls and Demons, where he started live streaming some painting tutorials. That's one crappy arm right there, sorry. I can see that paint isn't really mixed properly. Well, it wouldn't be an arm painted for you. It needs proper checking, so here we are, checking away. Here in the background you can see some other miniatures standing by. I'm still sort of working out what to do. I mean, there's a merit to... It's stuck. Sorry. I just need... There we go. Now, here's a quick pro tip for you. If you can't see it, let's go here. Paperclip. Now with that set paperclip, whenever you get a nozzle looking like this, sort of stuck, give it a quick go through to clear out any blockage. And that's a pro tip, especially when using dropper bottles. Otherwise you'll end up ruining shirts, walls and everything when the bottles explode. I've tried that more times than I dare like to mention. There we go. That's a big wallop. Okay. See if that helped the coverage. Looks like it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Right. So yeah, back to the armor paint. I really like the paints. Mainly, I mean, like the paints. I like the tones. I like the color tones. I like their the range, because it reminds me of the paint range I grew up with back in the olden times before Games Workshop changed everything. And that was the old hexagon bottles, as you might hear many a veteran not speak overly fondly of. But the beauty of that range was that they were. I should put this without. I'm not meaning this in a diminutive way, but they were basic, and because they were basic, many a young lad like me would get the start on it, and you could more easily mix up. Oh shoot! Mix up tones on your own. Too much paint on my brush. My own fault. I'm trying a bit too hard to multi-manage many things right now. See, just checking. There we go. Oh yeah, that wasn't so bad. It'll be fixed. That's also another thing. I struggle with it myself. That you shouldn't fuss too much. I heard other during the painting, because I've heard other miniature painters. They keep talking about. They keep talking about an ugly face, where the model is just doesn't look good. Yeah. And then one highlight later, boom, magic. It's just gorgeous. I am definitely going to set up some markers so you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I get my fancy tablet holder. It's a sort of a armature you stick to your table. Basically, it's a boom arm for microphones, if you're familiar with that. But it holds tablets and smartphones, which I'm using right now. And because it's more permanent, also makes it easier for me to pan around a bit and show you the disc in various stages of chaos and anarchy. Yeah. Okay, these details are so soft. I'm just going to go for the high contrast highlight I was talking about earlier. Well, it's more for effect than show. See if I can just hit that spot right there. It's so strange. Sometimes it looks like. Can you see the difference here? No, you can't, because I haven't zoomed in. Let's have a closer look. Hang on. Come on. Alright. I don't know if you can see can you see the difference from that spot to that spot? It was at the same time, same application, but for some reason the paint just wouldn't cover. And that's sort of the consistency issue, which I think has led many people to say they don't care for army painted paints. And I think it's a crying shame, really. Look here, same issue again. Splotchy coverage. I think it's really a shame because, like I said, they're really fine paints once they're properly shook up. Especially if you're more of a craftsman painter like me. I don't paint for showcasing. I don't paint for Instagram or anything. I mean, I hesitate to say that I'm capable of doing so, but yeah, I'm hesitant. I can do so to a certain point. I'm not. The thing is, I don't like. I got a lot of miniatures. Let's just put it like that. And if I'm ever going to see them painted in my lifetime, then I better get cracking. But if I'm using, let's say, 20 hours per model, well, quick math, I won't be alive to see me getting through my lead mountain. Or plastic mountain, as it's slowly becoming, as lead is yesterday's news, unfortunately. Oh, it's preferred metals. The heft and, well, yeah, some might argue it's nostalgia, I don't know. To me it was the heft, and because they were usually one piece, meant that it was ready to get on the table pretty quick. I hate putting together models. It's no fun whatsoever. Not for me. And if you enjoy it, cool. You keep doing you. But yeah. Wow, you really say a lot when you're streaming and trying to keep a one-sided conversation going. I guess it's a monologue. I should listen to my own tips. I watched a YouTuber who calls whose show is called The Eternal Chronicle. He's a great guy. It's called Chris something. And I gave him some feedback because he recently started streaming every day, because his life also been impacted recently by COVID and other real life issues. Anyway, I told him that he should prepare a topic and that he should try to stick to that topic as much as he can while he painted, and also take some breaks to check up on the chat and all that. He's a really kind guy, really great guy. So, in the interest of patting each other on the back, I recommend his channel. It's a fine starting channel. I really hope to see him grow. It sounds like he needs a bit of some success in his life right now. And yeah, I'm not really advocating for a collab, but I wouldn't mind it one day. I hope the music isn't too annoying. If so, just type it in. I just pulled some copyright-free music, as I do believe in copyright, to, well, lessen the impact of the soulless void that is the silence of a stream when somebody's concentrating. I chose streaming on Twitch mainly because in the integration with Discord and everything, and also because I think that YouTube's live streaming leaves a bit to be desired. We'll see. So yeah, you're still sticking around there, my one viewer. I'm impressed. I'll shut up for a bit. Sorry, old habit. I really don't get it. It's really odd how it's sometimes separates and sometimes doesn't. To be fair though, this is an oh man, my throat's acting up. It is an older bottle. I had it for some time, and I can see that they changed the formula since I bought this bottle. So, oh, sorry, shoot, got off frame. Yeah, it's funny. I was worried sick about getting in on this stream action, and now here I am. Not really thinking about the fact that millions of people could at any given moment join in and watch me. But I kinda doubt it. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm a craftsman painter, and my main objective here, the stream, with the streaming the miniature is to just showcase some of the the life experience, I guess you could call it, of a craftsman painter. I tried my hand at show painting, but I'm not really. It doesn't really interest me. I mean, I can appreciate the gorgeously painted models, but it's not really something I strive towards or aspire to. So you won't see fancy techniques like object source lighting or non-metallic metal or whatever the current miniature painting fashion dictates that you must paint your miniatures in that way. I think this is as good as it's gonna get with this miniature, poorly sculpted as he is. Okay. I think that's the skin done. Sorry, I'm just looking. Looks all right. I think it looks quite fine from a distance, especially. Oh yeah, and to my right here. Well, yeah, this is my right. This way. I have a selection of my finer tipped brushes. So whenever you hear clack clack, or rather, whenever you hear this sound, it's when I put my brushes over into their holder. Yeah, I think I'll just quickly show what I've been painting recently. These are knolls, plastic knolls from North Star models, North Star miniatures, I think. I can't remember. They were initially made for Frostgrave, but I'm going to use them for Oathmark and most likely Frostgrave. Yeah, but I wanted to pick out this model because as a showcase, and let's just get a random pointy brush. Okay, so can you see what my point here? This is a wash residue in there, and then basically a quick reapplication of the base color that I used, and yeah, I think it doesn't look. It looks fine up close, but it really. Ah, there we go. At a distance, I think it looks great. And this is usually. Let's zoom out a bit. This is usually the sort of the distance that you would be playing miniature games at. Oh well, that's actually a bit too close, but you know. If you really wanted to pop more, you could start in adding edge highlights and so on. But I prefer sort of the more subtle look. And considering I had, well, still have, I have 10 left, but I had 20 of these to paint. I think it shows the right method for me at the very least. Oh, sorry. Oh wow, 40 minutes already. Oh yeah, cup of the day. Right. Let's get in on some leather brown action. Get that good and proper shape. Would be quite saddened if the singular viewer turned out to be some sort of checking bot to make sure that I'm not doing anything obscene on the platform. Where were we? Let's get in closer. Right. So, off stream, I base coated this model, the straps on this model with leather brown, and then gave it a wash of mid brown from Army Painter, my new go-to for some leathery goodness. I'm having a bit of an issue with the newer washes that they have. Usually they used to try matte, but recently it seems like they started to try glossy. And since I don't really varnish my miniatures, even though many people keep telling me I should, it sort of messes with my usual rhythm of painting. Well. But the varnishing part is basically, it's a question of, well, first and foremost, I never saw a need for it. And secondly, actually, I now have an airbrush because beforehand I didn't trust the varnish sprays that people were using. I've seen many a horror story online about people accidentally grabbing the undercoat or the primer when they were about to sorry, it's currently 3:45 a.m. and I'm getting a bit tired, so now I'm just rambling. I've had quite the night getting all this worked up, and when I was finally done, it was roughly 3 a.m. So I figured, no, I didn't work so hard all day to just quit, basically. Well, not quitting as such, but you know, used the better part of, I don't know, 12 hours, I think, well, something like that anyway, to just come up with a name for the channel that wasn't taken, and sort of told what I wanted it to say. And then once I got that name, I quickly, very, very quickly, jumped onto every single social media platform that I could think of using and signed it up. It's so strange now I got a social media presence when I've just been sort of, I don't know, gypsying it, if that's a term, across social media, posting a bit here, posting a bit there, posting under my real name, but now I'm an official studio. Yay. Oh, studio. Social media gypsy. I should have called the channel that. Oh well. But yeah, being in the game for so long and not really being grumpy old git, as my girlfriend loves to call me, and even got me a mug for. Yeah, I don't really jump on hype trains much anymore. I don't really care about the next big thing. I jumped a bit on the contrast train. I'll admit to that. But I don't know. The whole FOMO marketing that Games Workshop runs with these days is just too much for me, man. I'm much more miniature agnostic. I mean, I've been collecting wargame tabletop models for, I don't know, at least 25 years, if not going on 30 years soon. Oh, Jesus. But anyway, and well, I have a tendency that once, I have a saying, motto, if you will, as soon as I paint a miniature, it stays permanently. I've sold very few painted miniatures in my life, and I've basically regretted all of them, except War Machine. But War Machine was more because the game itself left me cold. It was basically just magic in disguise. And all the meta climbing and synergizing, couldn't be bothered really. But for those who enjoy it, it's fine. It's a fine game, I guess. I haven't really paid attention to it since back in the 2000s, early 2000s. This is going way quicker than I expected. All right, that was Werewolf Fur. Sorry, forgot. Now we're moving on up to, there we go, Fur Brown. Oh, and we're closing in on hour. Let's see how much I can get done. Like I said, this is more of a test, really, of if the equipment holds and if it's worth watching, and as a bit of a surprise for my dear little cute girlfriend, Katrina, who's currently sleeping right now. And I'm trying to keep my voice down, or as down as I can, still pull off a manageable stream. Yeah, it's been some rough couple of months. Not rough as such. No, I'm over exaggerating, but still COVID adjusting. She's highly introverted. I'm slightly introverted, and even she is getting tics from not seeing people as much as we used to. Pandemics, man. But hey, what can you do? Except wait and pray for a vaccine. I'll get here eventually. Right, enough of real life. I'm not really... It's not the point of the show to delve too much into those. Plenty of other people busy doing that, and I'm not going to bother being one of them. Right. Sorry if I'm all over the frame. I'm still getting used to painting miniatures on a camera. Okay. Right. Oh, that was all the browns done, as well as the flesh. And let's see if we can get a handheld. Yeah, there we go. Handheld turntable. How about that? I don't really know what to paint his base as. I can see that there's some, let's see if we can, there's some stony texture. I'm guessing it's a road, but it doesn't really make much sense because I'm pretty sure that's supposed to, let's see if we can get that in. Pretty sure that's supposed to be a rebar. And this is supposed to be some pieces of wood, some logs. I haven't never been to the States, but I highly doubt that you just have random logs lying on the, and rebars lying next to each other on the side of the highway. But hey, feel free to correct any of my misconceptions if I have any. Right, off cam. I had some skeleton horde. Sorry, skeleton bone from Army Painter, left over from 3 days ago actually. And rather than mix up something new, there we go. And rather than mixing up something new, I figured I'd just use what I had. Waste not, want not. Now, here's a tip I picked up many moons ago. His gloves here are actually a lot of finer details, but I can't see him with the naked eye at this range anyway. And you won't be able to see him anyway at further range when you're actually playing a game. So I'm just painting for effect, meaning I'm just placing a line. Let's see if we can get it in frame there. A line here, and then 1 or 2 millimeters distance. Can you see that? That little distance will then show up when we're at the playing area. Oh man, my throat. I think I'm getting in a fall throat, if you will. Not a corona related, just a regular dry throat from the changing of seasons. Get that every single year, and this year has been no different. I had a slight fever a couple of weeks ago, but fortunately it wasn't anything serious. Just my body shedding its summer immunities and changing into gear to winter immunities. See, I'm doing the same thing here again. If the focus would, there we go. I'm doing the same thing here again. Where I'm just sort of eyeballing where I think there should be some lines. Although they're a bit more pronounced here, but not really. So let's just hit a couple. Oddly enough, for such an opinionated geek as myself, I have no idea what to talk about. I'm looking forward to the weekend, visiting my parents. Been a while. Yeah. Let's see. Can I be bothered to paint the inside of his boot? No. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Alright. Oh, 9 minutes left. 1 view remaining. But I can see that I need a skeleton bone anyway. It just didn't work. There we go. I might delete this stream tomorrow, depending on a lot of things. Not really. It's not that I worry about how people see me as such. It's just 1 hour of me going, oh. Won't really be worth it to keep it around. I couldn't really find any sort of test chamber to run my stream in. There we go, much better. Okay. I had some coverage issues there, but that was simply because the skeleton bone was at least a week old at this point, and well, I doubt any paint brand could manage that long in a wet palette and still be usable for our purposes. That autofocus, man, it's all over the place. Maybe I should do a whole series. That might be the motivation I need to get these painted. Because, I mean, when I first got these miniatures, man, I was disappointed. But then again, it's mainly because I never cared much for the realistic style. I always want my miniatures to be more heroic. Or rather, well, I guess I just want them to look a bit more cartoony, I guess. These lacking details, man. I'm just eyeballing it at this rate. You know what? It'll be fine. What I should have done was to dry brush this area and just call it a day. I'm too committed right now. So there we go. Oh, Jesus. That microphone. I'm sorry. When my throat is acting up. Alright. 6 minutes left. Let's do this. Let's see. We need some Modern Frank Brown. Not all Games Workshop colors these days. Nonsense. Not all of it is armor paint. No. I use whatever. I use what I need. And I'll give you a quick tour of my paint disc, I think. at some point. So to show what I find, I've recently rearranged everything because I found that there were some paints I used a lot more and some paints I used a lot less. And based on 2 or 3 years with this current setup, I figured, okay, let's rearrange. Let's have a look. So basically, I have some browns from Games Workshop that are just my go-to browns. Well, I do really, I think that Army painted browns. You know what? Hang on. Let's just. So, you see here. That's my base coloring section because I use bases. I really like to have a quick start from a base coloring, and then my recent acquisitions at the bottom and progressing upwards. So yeah, and let's get back to the painting desk proper. There we go. Still working out the lighting and everything. I think I can see that the details are picking up. I was worried about that. Right. Let's see. Can we get this red going in? Yes, we could. Oh dear. It's gunking on my brush. Anyhow. A bit too flowy. It's heavy red from Game Color that we're using right now. That's our highlight. And I'll just add a touch of the skeleton bone. I think, yeah. Need a bit of this, and then yeah, that's fine. I needed to highlight this. There we go. Just dab it on, because the details are basically gone at this point. Okay. Now, if you wanted, you could easily. Notice I said you, because I'm not going to. If you wanted, you could easily further increase the highlights here to sort of make it stand out, or even better, because it's supposed to be a tool made of metal with a paint coating. You could give it a quick edge of some metals. Did I turn the camera? Or did it turn on its own? Well, I think, yeah, I'm just going to end it some couple of minutes short, so I'm sorry, viewer, that you're still out there. There'll be no raids or anything. I'm not really into the whole Twitch mindset yet, but you know, 4 hours quick work and setup and streaming woes, I think that went quite fine. So let's see if I can get this going. I could. Well, that's me done. I just wanted to test this out, really. Didn't have a bigger plan other to see if all my equipment worked. And now I will end the stream and get some well-deserved sleep. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Oh, bye-bye.